I've been thinking, even though inflation is high, I've been looking around and I may want to purchase a car, but I want to make the right decision. So come along with me on my journey of choices to buy a car. I'm Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, and I talk about things that will help you make better decisions for a better life. Come with me on my journey for this one. Now, when it's time to purchase a car, there are a few challenges that are out there, even if in the best of times. But with high inflation and low inventory still on a few cars, there are extra challenges out there for us. And so when it comes time to looking for a car, you have to do your research. That's key, doing your research. Also, since we're late summer in 2023, do I wait to 2024? Do I buy late 2023? When are the best deals out? All of this has to come into question when it's time to purchase a vehicle. Do I buy a truck? Do I buy an SUV? Do I buy a car? What is it that I really want? And as expensive as cars are these days, and we will go through some of the prices, it's incumbent upon me to make the best possible decision that I can, because I'm going to pay for it no matter how I look at it. I'm going to pay for the vehicle that I finally choose to buy. Now, as I'm looking for this vehicle of mine, the perfect car for me, I'm looking, and there are two challenges that came up immediately. Number one, the supply chain. With the vehicle that I'm looking for, there's a supply chain issue. They don't have them on the lots. They have to order them to get them in. You may not get exactly what you want, depending on what's coming in. And there's a waiting period, which means no negotiation on the price, which is the thing that gets me the most. I cannot negotiate the price. The price is the price because people are going to pay for them. I am looking for a hybrid car, and that's what's the one thing that's making it a little more difficult, because it seems like everybody wants these hybrid cars these days, but to save in gas. So it would be part electric and part gas with the vehicle that I'm looking for. And I'll let you know later on, maybe during the video, exactly what I'm looking for. But that's the first challenge I'm running into. The second challenge is inflation. The interest rates are going up if I were to finance the car. And of course, I cannot negotiate the price. And so the price of these vehicles are going up, because they can pretty much charge you what they want and get it because someone will pay for it. So those are the two challenges that jumped off the page right away when I started looking for this vehicle of mine. Now, let me just run through some stats of what people are facing if you're actually trying to buy a car these days. There are some specific stats out there that are kind of hindering you, against you, for purchasing the vehicle that you want to purchase in today's dollars and with inflation that's going on right now. The first stat we'll go over is the median income, household income, is about $75,000. The new car average price is $49,388. The average car loan rate is about 7.2% interest rate for new, or 11% for used. Now, I checked with my credit union, and it ranges from 5.9% to 18%, depending on your credit score, for a new car that you can purchase. And with these kind of prices, with these kind of interest rates, I'm going to make sure I make the best possible decision that I can that will save me money in purchasing this vehicle, if I decide to purchase a vehicle at this time, because of all of these challenges that I'm having right now. Now, whether I buy or not, I want you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you. Now, next, I'm going to run down a list of vehicles that I have researched, and I will be reading them to you, but I've researched them, so it is worth the video just to stay on with me, because I've done a lot of the hard work for you if you're actually looking for a car. Now, I will be describing all new cars that I went out and researched, knowing that you can get some of these cars as used cars for a better price. If you finance them, of course, the interest rates will be higher, but these you can get at a better price. And I'm going to read this list to you so that you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I researched Toyota has a Corolla available between the prices of $21,700 and $27,000. That's their lowest price vehicle. The highest price vehicle for Toyota is a Sequoia, which is $60,000. That's Toyota. And Toyota is one of my favorite manufacturers because it just runs. I have a Toyota truck right now and I don't have problems with it. If you keep the maintenance on these Toyotas, they're very reliable. And it just runs. Toyota is very proud of their vehicles because even if you were to buy a used one, it's going to cost you some money. They don't depreciate as fast as some of these other cars do. Next is Honda Civic. Honda also is a great car maker, and the Honda Civic, the lowest price car that they have out there new is $23,950. And these are all base prices, you all. When you start adding the extra stuff that you're going to add, the amount is going to go up. But this is just the base price. Their highest vehicle that I saw was a Civic Type R, which was $44,000. Let's go to Mazda. Mazda has a Mazda 3 sedan. It starts at $22,550 and can range up to $26,000, and their highest priced vehicle is a CX-90, which is an SUV, and it starts at $40,000. And then when you start adding things on, of course, it's going to go up. The Kia Soul is a $20,000 car that I found as a new car, base price. So there are some cars out there that you can still get at $20,000. The Sorento Hybrid is a $50,000 car that Kia has, base price. Hyundai, they have a Venue that starts at $20,000. Now, I don't know how small these cars are, if they have 2 doors or 4 doors, but it starts at $20,000. And then they have a Nexo NEXO that starts at $60,000. That is their highest priced Hyundai. Chevrolet has a Trax that starts at $20,000. So if you're in the range of $20,000 cars, this is something you consider. Their Suburban is upwards of $57,000 base price. The Ford Escape starts at $28,000, you guys. Remember when the Escape was just really like a very inexpensive car and it was a lot lower than 28? I guess they've really beefed it up, but it starts at $28,000. Nissan has a Versa. This is the least expensive car that I could find. Starts at $16,000 base price. Nissan. I don't know how many doors it has or how big it is. It may only have 2 doors, 2 seats, but it's a $16,000 car. Their next car was a Sentra that starts at $20,000. So there's another one in the $20,000 range that you can get, and that is Nissan. Their highest rated car is a GTR that starts at $120,000 for a Nissan. Subaru has an Impreza that starts at $23,000 base price. Their highest car at the Subaru dealership was a Solterra at $45,000 base price. Volkswagen is, I like the way they look. The Jetta starts at $21,000 base price, and their highest car is a Arteon, Arteon, starts at $43,000 for these vehicles. So those are all base price new cars. I made the list out for you. You can go in and check them out. Some of them are cars, some of them are SUVs if they get up high enough to be SUVs. So go check those out. Notice I did not go into the luxury models of Toyota, which is a Lexus, or the Nissan Infiniti, or the Acura, which is a Honda luxury. I didn't go into those at all. I wanted to stay in the range where these are names that you know and that type of thing. I did not step off into Mercedes or BMWs. Those would be way out of range, and so I did not go in that route. And just to know, the average car payment from $733 to $760 is the average car payment. And this is a car that's based on 5 years of paying it off. So keep that in mind also. These cars are expensive. The interest rates are high, so you can see where the monthly payment will come in at very high also. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is run down how do we get to a $700 a month car payment. It's very easy with the price of these cars. Once I did the research and found out the price of these cars, it's very easy to get to a $700 car payment if you're not going to purchase the car outright, if you're going to put a little down on the car and finance the rest of it. And so you will see the formula on the board of how we get to a $716 a month car payment. We're going to start out with the car price. The price of the car is going to be $43,000, and this will include a $5,000 down payment on the car. So you will be actually financing $38,000 for the car loan, and this will be financed at 7% APR over 60 months. If you do that, your payment is going to come out to $716 a month. Now, this is including the sales tax, destination charges. These are extra things that they put on the car, and that's what it's going to come out to. So your total interest over the 60 months that you will pay on this car is going to be $6,796. The total actually paid on the car will be, this is what you borrow as well as the interest is going to be around $42,931 as the total paid. So you can see how a $38,000 loan over 60 months will yield a $716 car payment. You all, that's pretty high as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want to be writing a check for $716 every month to pay on a car for 60 months. That's a long time to write that. So there are some other options you can do. You can either try to search for a better interest rate, which will bring the car down. You can search for a better price on the car. You know, maybe gear, instead of buying a $43,000 car, maybe gear more toward a $25,000 to maybe $30,000 car and still putting $5,000, $6,000, you know, $10,000 down. That'll get that monthly payment down for you if you choose to do that. But these are some things that can help you. Of course, your credit score is going to be a lot dependent on what type of interest rate you get. So make sure you have that in line to help you with this huge car payment, monthly car payment. I want to look at all of my options when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. I just don't want to limit to you know, putting a down payment and seeing what it's going to cost me. So I have another slide to show you. In this slide, I'm going to show you the $43,000 that we talked about. If I leave it in the bank and gain interest on it, how much money I'll make. I like to write out all the scenarios so I'll know exactly what my money is doing, what I'm, you know, losing on and what I'm gaining on. So $43,000, if I put only $1 every month in it for 60 months, that $43,000 at 5% interest rates, which you can get right now on the online banks, it will turn into $54,947.92. Okay, so, but we were only going to put on the loan $38,000. So going back to that, if I have $38,000, if I take out the $5,000, put it as a down payment and leave the $38,000 in the bank, paying $1 a month for 60 months, I will increase that to $48,566.51. So that will gain me about $175.10 a month by leaving it in a 5% interest. So these are some scenarios that I like to actually look at prior to making any type of purchase. I have one more scenario that I want to talk to you about, and that is if let's say, the way I'm looking at it is if I'm going to buy a $43,000 car, and let's bump that up to, let's say, $45,000 when you put the destination charges and tax and license and all of that. It may be a little bit more than that, but let's say 45,000. The way I like to look at it is if I'm going to spend $45,000 on a vehicle, I want to make sure I have $45,000 sitting somewhere else as far as opportunity cost. Because a lot of you may be saying, why buy and pay for a car outright? Because something else may come along and you could use that money to purchase something else. I'm thinking that same way. So if I can buy it once, I should be able to buy it twice. My way of thinking, go ahead and purchase the vehicle. So just pay the $45,000, but have $45,000 also sitting in the bank because I won't lose that opportunity cost if I do it like that. And let's say with the $113 of interest that I would be paying on the loan for the $38,000, what if I pay that every month? So I leave my $45,000. So I start out with $90,000 because 45 plus 45 is 90. So if I can buy it once, I want to be able to buy it twice. I take the $45,000 out, buy the vehicle, leave the other $45,000 in the bank. However, I'm paying myself the interest that I would normally be paying on paying the lender, whoever is going to have the title to my vehicle, if I were to take out a loan on it. So I'm paying myself that $113 a month because that's what they would get on me with interest rates at 7% for a $38,000 loan. It would be $113 a month. So with that, I'm paying myself. So I'm putting that in the bank and paying myself. If I do that over a period of 60 months, I will have $65,095.62. Okay, so that would be a huge gain in my favor. One other scenario I want you to look at is what if I leave that $45,000, I pay $45,000 for the car, leave the other $45,000 in the bank, and if I'm going to pay $716 a month that I would be paying anyway, I would have to get the money from somewhere and be paying it anyway. What if I pay myself for borrowing my $45,716 a month, to pay myself back for that? And over that period of time, well, I would be paying myself back for $38,000. I take that back. $38,000 would be what I would borrow. Over that period of time, I would gain and repay myself $42,931. So taking those two scenarios, I can either borrow the money from myself, pay myself back with interest, or pay myself interest so that I won't lose, but have that money just in case an opportunity comes up over in the bank. Now, the way I look at this is I can either borrow the money and pay the interest to someone else, or I can pay the interest to myself. And so my philosophy and what I'll probably do if I decide to buy a vehicle is to go ahead and pay cash for the vehicle. I want to make sure I have the money in the bank because one thing, you all, I hate paying interest. Hate it. I pay interest on mortgage just because I cannot pay it off quickly enough. But as far as anything else, my past vehicles that I've bought, my past 2 or 3 vehicles that I've bought, I paid cash for them. So I save up my money, and you're thinking, wow, saving $45,000, that's a lot of money. But you can see over a period of 60 months, you're paying someone else $45,000 or $38,000, whatever your loan is anyway. So why not pay yourself that and save that money up? When you buy it for cash, you don't have a car payment, right? So you can put that money aside that you would normally have, put it aside for 60 months. After 60 months, stop putting it aside. But you will have money stacked up for your next car if that's what you need, a next car, if that's when you want to buy another car at that point in time. I usually keep my vehicles for at least 10 years. So that's another thing about me. I keep them for the long term, and I keep them in good running condition, and put whatever amount of miles that I need to put on them because they're a vehicle. They're for transportation only. And so the last thing you probably want to ask me is, well, Adrienne, what are you looking at? I love the Toyota product. However, I am looking at the Lexus product because they do have a hybrid in the type of Lexus that I'm looking to buy. So it will be more than $45,000, but that's what I'm looking at, and I've determined that I will pay cash when I decide to purchase this vehicle. Unfortunately, they don't have any on the lot, so it will take some months for this vehicle to actually come in. I've researched it for months and months and months. I've thought about it. I've looked at it. I have not test driven it yet, but that time will come. But I try not to personally fall in love with any type of vehicle that I feel like I just have to have. I don't have to have that vehicle. I just would like to have that vehicle. It's something that I'm interested in. It saves on gas. It's low enough where my folks can still get in it without climbing into my truck, that type of thing. So there you have it. So take all of this in mind, all this consider. I've done a lot of the research for you, but take this in mind and calculate the numbers for yourself and do what's best for yourself if you're looking to purchase another vehicle.